In this module, we will talk about the fermenter design. As we have studied in previous module that fermentation process is very preferred process as compared to other process, but the fermenter is the key role in fermentation process. So in fermentation process, we say that the fermenter is the heart of fermentation process. In other words, we can say that the heart of all industrial fermentation process. Fermenter, sometimes when we study the literature, the fermenter term is replaced by another term which we called as bioreactor. Actually, the bioreactor is the word used by replacing the fermenter. Fermenter is a device which used for the process of the fermentation, just with reference to the fermentation. And then the bioreactor means different kind of the reactions involving the cell. Then by that kind we can say that it is the bioreactor. So either that is a fermenter or a bioreactor term, then that refer to the heart of any industrial process. So the basic function of the fermenter is to provide all suitable environment in which the organism can efficiently produce our target product. What are our target product? When we are discussing about the range of different products by fermentation process, at that time we classify 5 different ranges of fermentation. But here we are only mentioning 3 major: cell mass production, metabolite production, bioconversion product. What kind of the product? But fermenter has a vital role. So in this slide you can see that the organizational chart of fermentation process, that start from the stock culture and goes to the production vessels. So as well as that stock culture, if we have an organism, then there is a revival of the culture. Then if we say about the industrial fermentation, then we need a seed fermenter. So in next slide we will see that how we will classify the different scale of the fermentation and with respect to the fermentation fermenters, because in previous module we classified 3 different types of fermentation depend upon the scale of production. But as well as the fermenter can also be classified into 3 categories with respect to their scale. So first of all, the lab scale fermenters, pilot scale fermenters, and industrial scale fermenters. As we have discussed already that lab scale fermentation, pilot scale fermentation, and industrial scale fermentation, this classification based upon the mode of sterilization and the volume of the inoculum required. By the same kind, all the lab scale fermenter which mostly have ex-situ sterilization and there is no seed fermenter is required. But pilot scale fermenters, those who have in-situ sterilization process but seed inoculum fermenter are not required. But on industrial scale fermenter, in which in-situ sterilization and seed fermenter both requirement needed in industrial scale fermenters. So you can see the diagram of various fermenters. In this slide you can say a very fermenter with the glass vessels having no link with the agitator, and that we can say such fermenter. We will discuss such kind of the fermenters later on. We can say here's the pilot scale fermenters, and here you can see that lab scale fermenter having glass vessels. In this slide you can say a very large size vessel which we call fermenter. So having height of 200 feet, the diameter of this fermenter is 25 feet. You can easily imagine the size of this fermenter by just observing the size of the vehicles on the road when this kind of the fermenter will be installed to everywhere, from the side of the production designing and then side of the installation. So there are different types of the fermenters. The common fermenter types are stirred tank, airlift fermenters, fermenter with Venturi adductor, walled half type fermenters, self-priming fermenters, tower fermenters, and Koji fermenter. These are some major types of fermenters. Koji fermenters are basically the fermenters used for solid state fermentations. There are various other types of fermenters, but they are, we can say that just depend upon the various modification known as packed bed fermenters, acetators or cultivars, cyclone column type fermenters, cylindro conical vessels, depending upon different shape and process modifications. So you can see here the various types of the fermenters. Photobioreactors mean those fermentations which are nowadays used for the algae fermentations. So there are number of types of fermenters.